Hi, it's Jen and Tammy here with a really special patriotic project.
Yes.
This gorgeous table runner is made with the Colors of Courage collection from Wilmington. It's one of that more, it almost reminds me when I look at these fabrics, it's more classic.
It is classic. You got the Liberty Bell. It's beautiful.
Very much 1776.
Absolutely.
And so it's made with the Alaska ruler here. This is a creative grid tool. Edith Sitar was the designer on this particular notion. We love to unpack these rulers because sometimes people are like, I don't know that. I can't follow the instructions. Maybe it's difficult to unpack. I will say this is the reason you're here with me.
That's right.
She went to explain this to me. And some tools are very intuitive with just a little bit of instruction.
Right.
I would say this one, stay with us in this video to really unpack this video. There were some things I didn't think were intuitive.
Correct.
But you're going to walk us through it.
I'm going to walk you through it.
And show us how to make these beautiful Alaska blocks. I know there's different options.
There are.
But we made the same block again and again.
Yes.
But do notice how we have blue here and blue on that one. But in the middle, it's red.
We did change
a little bit of a change up.
A little bit.
So, Tammy, take us away. Show us what we need to know about the Alaska ruler so that we can make this quilt.
Beautiful.
And have this on our own table.
Yes.
Okay.
I love that. And there's also Alaska quilts. I have seen all over social media.
Oh my gosh.
They're amazing.
They are.
Definitely on my list of to-do. I am making one of those quilts.
Yes.
They're incredible. But I wanted to master the ruler first, and this is the perfect project to do that. It's small enough. You shouldn't feel intimidated. This is perfect.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right. So we have our Alaska ruler, odd shape, right?
Yep.
Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our strips. And I have pre-cut strips ahead of time. All right. So they do have very good directions. This is Creative Grids. This is right off of their website. Yes. All your directions are right here.
Yep.
I'm going to go through. Yes.
Right and there. You will get this inside, of course, your ruler, like they're very good about doing.
Yes.
We just got a bigger version for us to see. And you know what else is cool about that? If you ever lose this, not that I've ever done that.
No, not that we've ever done that.
You can go to Creative Grid USA website, type in the ruler you want, Alaska, and you're able to get these instructions again.
It's right there.
Yep.
So don't feel like, once it's lost, the ruler is garbage. It's not.
Right.
You can go
so I wanted to put that in there just because I know this has happened to me, and I'm like, now what? Do I have to buy another tool? You do not. Okay.
All right. So today we are making a Creative Grids Alaska block. This is a 12-inch unfinished block, making an 11.5-inch finished block. So we are going to start with an A block, which is a diamond block, and we need a 2 3/4-inch red strip. And Jen, you have that.
Okay.
Correct? All right. So I have my strip is folded wrong sides together. First thing I'm going to do is just simply put a 60-degree angle on the other side of it.
Oh.
That's correct. So we're just simply going to put an angle on the other side of it. Like
just
this.
To kind of get it started.
Correct, to get it going. That's correct. All right. And I'm going to cut the little tip off of that diamond.
I'll be the keeper of the scraps
Keeper of the scraps. Perfect. All right. We're going to turn it over. All right. So now, intuitively, when I put this on here, I want to measure 2 3/4 inches, right? So if I were to measure using these markings here, it only comes to 2 1/4. If I measure these markings across here, it comes to 2 1/4.
Okay.
And you're thinking that's not right.
Right.
Right?
That's the part that threw me.
2 3/4.
Right.
Okay. So 2 3/4, we're not using the straight lines on the side of this ruler. We're using the diagonal lines right here.
Okay. So this 2, that 3, this is 2, and this is the 3/4.
That's correct. So 3/4 is this X and this X, 2 3/4. All right.
Wow. Okay.
So
that's the part that confused me.
Yeah, I know. It's very confusing. Okay. So I line this up. So my X's are right along my fabric. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and cut a diamond. I think I might have a skip in my blade.
Yeah. We can get that traded out for you.
Okay. So now I have a diamond. This is 2 3/4 inches.
Oh,
2 3/4-inch
fantastic.
diamond.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so our next shape that we need to cut is a half diamond. And a half diamond is cut from a strip.
This one here?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yep. This is our half diamond. All right. So now I'm going to turn my ruler this direction. And I have a 3.5-inch strip here. Now I'm using the center numbers.
Okay.
You see how that goes right to 3.5, right?
I see.
Okay. This one is better at being intuitive.
Yes,
Let's
it is.
spin this around. This spinning mat is, I love this spinning mat.
I like just not having to move the fabric.
I don't want to move
the
my
cut
ruler.
is more precise.
I have it right where I want it. I don't want to move it.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So now I have a diamond. We'll lay that out. And I have a half diamond. And I have another half diamond. Just like that. Okay.
Okay.
We're making our block. All right. The next piece we need, I'll let you have that, is our large triangle that goes on the end of this. Okay. Perfect. So for this, I have a 4.5-inch strip of fabric here. Okay, so I'm going to cut a D block now. Now I'm going to use this end of the ruler. Okay, so I'm going to line this up. Well, I don't know if this is exactly straight or not. Let's straighten this edge a little bit, Jen.
Okay.
Precise is good.
Precise is pretty important.
Precise is really important.
Yes,
with this.
it
That's
is.
correct.
This is that's right, and this is why we're seeing you push harder than normal. Get the fresh blade,
yeah,
right?
with the
That's
blade.
what.
Yes.
Hey, this might be an opportunity. I'm going to take this opportunity.
Okay,
One of the things
do
I
it.
love about this tool, this is not expected. In the old days, when we all bought our first rotary cutters, do you remember how we had to unscrew this?
Have to unscrew
Watch
it.
this.
Yeah.
Pop it open. It's out. The other thing I use for these is I mark on my blade what's used and I keep it in here.
Exactly. Exactly.
I have taken out the trash before, had a blade thrown away, and then it cut me right across the leg.
Oh.
So there's two in here. So you're just going to slide that across.
Okay.
You get your blade.
Thank you.
I'll take that one.
So I'm just going to set it right back on here,
Absolutely.
right on here like that, and click that right back into place.
Yep.
And that's all there is to it.
And I would mark this blade as used, and I'd put it in here and close the lid. So for now, I'm just going to put it aside.
Perfect. We will do that
Wasn't
later.
expecting to do that, but this is going to make your life easier.
I appreciate that.
And that's what we do when we start when we're pushing this hard. Just
Too
do
hard?
it.
Just done.
Go.
Okay. All right. So my ruler is lined up on 4.5 and 4.5. This end works just like a regular square ruler.
Okay.
Right? So I'm going to cut a square. Oh, that is so much better. Thank you so much.
You only notice how dull they are once you change them.
Once you change it, it's like, wow, that's amazing.
Yep.
All right, now I'm just going to turn my ruler sideways. I'm going to line this up, corner to corner, and I'm going to cut this in half. So there's no need to go find a square ruler, another ruler, anything else. This tool will cut 100% of the blocks that you need to make these.
I like that.
I like that.
I like that.
I like that. Okay, now we have our triangles that go on the top, just like that.
Wow.
Okay?
Okay.
That is how we cut our blocks. Now let's talk about sewing the blocks. Because now a lot of you are looking at me like, yeah, okay, you can cut it, but can you sew it?
That's
right?
true.
That's a whole different matter.
Sure.
All right? I'll give that to you. All right. So the first thing that we want to do, let's move these down, is we want to sew our half diamonds to our diamond.
Okay.
All right? Again, this is not intuitive. Because when I first started doing this, I'm like, well, I'm going to line this up and wait a minute.
Where am I supposed to be?
This doesn't fit.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
So I line this up. I have the very tip of this white is going to go right in the corner of the red, like this.
Okay.
Do you see that?
I do. Boy, that's a pinning moment right there.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to pin that.
For sure.
Okay, so I don't need a lot of pins. I just need enough just to hang on to it.
Yep.
Make sure it's going to stay where it is.
Okay.
And I pin well out of my seam allowance.
Yep.
So I can start and go and not have to stop and take out a pin.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the machine and I'm going to go ahead and sew that.
Okay, let me get this warming up.
Would you like to sew it?
I sure can.
No, I'll sew it. I'm kidding.
Okay.
That was a joke.
I'm happy to. Sure.
All right. Now you get to press. So let's press that open, please.
Okay. Warm up the seam.
Yep.
So pressing open. All right. Let's do that. I can imagine with all of the confluence of these seams, that's the reason for we're pressing open.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
When I have diamonds like this, I always press them open.
And I noticed you're sewing with the gray Orfil. It's part of our Carrera set.
I love the Orfil.
The white, gray, black.
Yes, the neutral set. I love that.
If you're piecing, that's all you need.
It is all you need.
All these wonderful colors are not. They're not really meant for piecing.
They're not for piecing. They're for applique.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So now you can see how this matched here.
Beautifully.
Right
Look
here.
at that.
Okay.
Good
I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side.
Okay.
All right. So we line this up. Again, that tip is there, right to there. And I'm going to pin it in place. And I'm going to go sew that.
Fantastic.
Okay. Okay. Again, we're going to press that open.
This I can do.
Cut this thread for you. There you go.
Okay. These types of collections that are that more, there's a lot of cute patriotic, with the gnomes and the and all that, but sometimes that kind of more classic.
The classic one. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, beautiful. All right, now we're going to take our ruler back.
Okay. Do you want the spinning mat? Or no?
I don't need a spinning mat.
Okay.
Now we're going to use the ruler, and we are going to trim this block because I need to trim this seam to 1/4 of an inch.
All right.
Let's look at one that I already did. Right here. So you can see it's perfectly trimmed to exactly 1/4 of an inch. So when you go to sew these together,
points are perfect.
Points are perfect, right?
Yep.
Here's this one. This is what I'm after right here.
Right. That's the goal every time.
All right. So we're going to turn our ruler around like this. All right. So now I'm lining up a straight line right here. And I'm lining up my 1/4 inch.
I see that. So you've got some different layers of confirmation.
Yes, that's correct. So I have the bottom lined up. I have the top lined up. So now what I'm looking at is how much am I going to trim off here? If you're trimming off a large amount, just stop right there. Don't do it.
You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
Would that mean that we lined it up wrong?
That's correct. When you sewed
when this was positioned.
That's correct. So you should trim off no more than this. This is just little tiny scraps that I'm trimming off. If you're trimming off giant pieces, stop. Because that's not right.
Look for the seam
not
ripper.
Not right. Yeah.
Okay.
Find the seam ripper and do it again. Yeah.
Okay.
That's not right. Okay. So then we're just going to add this triangle onto here, right? And we've done that here and pressed it up. And this is the one time that I pressed up, right?
And I could see wanting to sew on this side as much as we want to sew on this side.
No, I turned it over. That's correct.
So you can keep your eye on that location.
Eye on the point.
Okay.
That's correct.
You taught me that.
I taught you that.
You taught me that a long time ago.
Absolutely. Points up.
Yep.
So you can see them.
Yep. Keep track of those things.
Keep your eye on them.
Okay.
All right. Now I'm going to trim this little dog ear off. Again, I am using the ruler to do this. And it does tell you how to do this, but I want you to see how it lines up. It all lines up. And I'm just going to trim. And I'm going to trim that little itty bitty thing. So it looks a little funny on this end.
Okay.
That's okay.
I'm glad.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Now let's talk about how we join two together, right?
Okay.
Once you make a bunch of diamonds and put just the red ones have this, now the blue ones have the red. Now let's talk about putting these together. Now I've made diamond quilts where you have to offset your seams.
Yes. It's very stressful, actually.
Complicated.
It's stressful because you're trying to visualize where they will be after they're sewn together, and you can be off.
Oh, and if they're off, they look horrible because they don't line up right.
And it just gets worse as you add more rows.
This is way simpler than that.
Good.
Which you're happy to hear, right? I know.
We're happy to hear.
Way happy to hear this part. Okay. So I have both of these seams are pressed open. I am simply going to put them together.
Of course.
Just like this.
And this should line up here too.
It will in a second. Right now, I'm just concerned about these two right here. And when I get them where I want them, I'm definitely going to put a pin in that.
So that's your first lineup, and then
right here.
This is later.
This is easy.
Yes.
Yeah, this is easy. I mean, this will just fall into place just like this, right?
Right.
This is easy. These also are the fine patchwork pins. These are not just regular patchwork pins. I know a lot of people like the Dritz pins or something like that, which are more, they're heftier pins.
Oh, these are the extra fine even.
These are the extra fine pins. The reason I use extra fine pins is I don't want to disturb the seam right here. You just need to hang on to it, right?
And I'll be the first to admit that I am the biggest, I am such a sucker for cute pins.
Cute pins, yes.
But in the end, you know, like this thick gauge, and I actually go to use them, and the fabric is disturbing or snagging.
Yes.
Leave the cute pins in your favorite pin cushion, but don't actually use them.
That's right. Don't use
Don't
them.
actually use them.
That's right. That's good advice. That's very good advice.
I am so gullible with cute pins.
That's good advice. All right, so now we're going to go sew from here, 1/4 inch, all the way to the end.
Okay.
Okay, let's see how we did. This is always a test, right? It's like, did I nail it? Did I not? What happened? Let's take a look. Oh, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want that to look like. So I want you now to press this open.
Okay.
And you can see you have nailed it when you have a perfect little V right here. You see that? I love that.
Wow.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Press that open. Love it.
This I can do.
All right, now we've made a couple of these ahead of time.
Okay.
So that I can show you how to put a half block together. Okay?
Nice. There you are, Miss Tammy.
Beautiful. All right, you can see now I have a 1/4 inch here to this point.
Yes.
So yes, this did look odd. It's fine. 1/4 inch here. All right. Oh, I didn't trim this dog ear.
Okay.
Jen, I missed that.
Oh, it's okay.
It's okay.
We're here now.
We're here now. We're going to trim her up right now. You didn't notice I missed that until I went to go sew that end. It's like, oh, that's not supposed to be there. There we go. All right. Now, this is a half block. And then we have our other half block.
Wow. I would not have expected the block to assemble that way.
It's odd.
But I guess when you think about it, it kind of has to.
It has to, right?
It has to.
Exactly. Okay, so as before, we just line these seams up perfectly, as close as we can. I'm also going to nest a seam here.
Look at that.
Yes, so that everybody lines up. This is why I love using a ruler. All my pieces are precisely cut.
Yes.
They all go together right. I love this. Okay, this is good.
Wow.
You do want to be careful. These are bias edges.
Yes,
right?
Sizing.
Sizing.
Sizing, and I should have mentioned that. Just do it in the beginning.
Always.
When you're ironing your fabrics
Size
and before you're cutting. Before you're
yes,
cutting. Don't
before
even think about doing it
any
afterward.
Strips. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Jen. Again, we're going to press this seam open.
Okay, I can do this. Okay. This is starting to look a lot like this one.
I hope so. I hope it looks just like it, actually. I really hope that's what we're going for here.
It's so funny how it's kind of on a diagonal, but it makes sense.
I know.
Now that I'm kind of seeing this. I see now why these seams are pressed open. That would just, the bulk would be, it'd be very awkward.
All these seams come together in the center. You have to have them pressed open, or it's not, you're just going to have a great big lump in the middle, right?
I see.
Your quilter's going to be calling you not happy.
Okay, let me be careful. And I can see this bias, sizing, very important.
very much.
Should have mentioned
and we're
that.
not using steam when we're pressing this out either.
No.
No steam on that. Steam and bias are not friends. They're not friends. Okay, we have 2 half blocks. Let's get them together. All right, and just same as before, we're just going to nest.
Okay. That's very logical right there.
Yep. This is probably the only logical part of this whole block, right? Okay, so now I'm just going to be really careful when I come to these edges, and I'm going to pin this like this. I might as well put a pin there as long as I'm pinning, right?
Yep.
I would leave it, but I'll go ahead and pin it.
Nice. And while she's pinning, sizing, this is something that actually Tammy introduced me to. I had not really used sizing. I'd done it to press my airline uniforms.
Oh, yeah.
But never for quilting. And it's nice when you know a bias is coming. I'm going to go sew that together.
Yep, I'll
just keep talking to them.
Talk to them.
It's nice to know that when you've got the sizing, it just helps stabilize those bias cuts a little bit more. Be sure to use it before you iron and before you cut.
Before you cut your strips.
Yep.
All right, Miss Jen, we have a block. If you want to give that a final press press that open for me.
Oh my gosh. This is so pretty, Tammy.
I love that block.
So people will make 2
like that.
Yep.
Correct. And then 1 with red triangles. And yes, they're just adjusting where they're putting their diamonds.
2 of these.
Yes.
One of those.
One of these.
We have our sashing, our inner border. I see we've got the 2.5 by 24.5. I love being able to use a ruler that is my border and my binding strips.
And your binding. Yes, we do 2.5-inch binding here.
Yep.
We like that. Yep.
We do. And this is a great one, obviously, to maybe do any top quilting on your home machine.
Yeah.
We certainly use our Clover Wonder Clips for our binding. I used to pin those, and I used to get them poked.
Binding's much better with clips.
So you can see the Alaska ruler is a more advanced project. If you're brand new to quilting, hey, you know what? Get some scrap fabric. Even if you're going to pick up the kit, practice on that first. We did a lot of seam ripping, figuring this one out.
Oh, we did.
But as you can see, it is worth
it's worth the time.
It's worth the investment of time.
It's beautiful.
Yes. So thank you, Tammy. I know I would have not have done nearly as good of a job. So we appreciate you giving us your time, and Tammy or I, or maybe both of us will be seeing you soon on another Shabby video.